Well, Oilers fans, the trade deadline has come. It has gone. The Oilers were unable to make an extra move today as of, it's 2:43 p.m. Mountain. As of me recording this, we know nothing was coming down the pipeline for Edmonton. And there's mixed feelings. I'm gaining the sense of mixed feelings around oil country. Obviously, the dream would have been to get a goaltending upgrade. Stan Bowman in his press conference mentioned that the Oilers basically from November through January, their goaltending was very good. And the numbers back that up. Jason Greger and I got into a pretty good discussion recently, and Greger sent me the numbers. I don't have them with me, but I could grab them in a future video. If the Oilers get that goaltending from November 1st to January 30th, obviously, I'm not super worried about their playoff chances. However, when you break things down further with the goaltending, when you compare Skinner's numbers against top 10 teams in the NHL, teams that got better, by the way, Colorado getting better. Colorado picked up Charlie Coyle. They picked up Brock Nelson. For the Dallas Stars, they pick up Mikko Rantanen. And then, of course, Winnipeg, they made a couple moves today too, right? So the Western Conference, bit of an arms race. They really loaded up, and the dream would have been a goalie. But we knew coming into today that was not going to happen. Everyone in the Oilers mainstream media had been putting out, they're like, the Oilers are not targeting goaltending. So my expectation today was not a goalie. My personal expectation coming out of the trade deadline was an addition to the top 6 forward group in Edmonton, a scoring winger for either McDavid or Draisaitl, and someone that could push others down the lineup, because there's certain guys that just aren't producing enough in that top 6. Guys like Victor Arvidsson, guys like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. They are what they are. They're good players that are not producing the way that we would like to see them produce, or historically we've seen them produce in the past. A top 6 forward at minimum should have been a done deal today. We don't know how close Bowman was to, getting a player like a Brad Marchand. It sounds like Edmonton made an attempt for Mikko Rantanen, but that probably would have been very unrealistic. So there's lots to talk about. In this video, of course, we're going to discuss the Oilers depth chart heading into Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, assuming they make the Stanley Cup playoffs. I like to just put that little stipulation there because I don't want to jinx anything. The Oilers on paper are really good. Their defensive core is the best that McDavid has had in his entire career. The forward group, if they play up to their potential and standard that we've seen in the past, is a very good forward group. Very, very good. They just need more goals. They need more finish. They need to bear down on their chances and play better overall. It's the goaltending that's the question mark. It's the goaltending where we are now sitting here and we are just hoping that they can hold down the fort. We're hoping that the goaltending is going to be enough. And in year 10 of Connor McDavid, I just wish we weren't in that hope mode. I just wish we had more of a guarantee. But in saying that, before we talk about the potential lineup combinations and all that stuff, in saying that, I am fully supporting Calvin Pickard and Stuart Skinner. I am fully rooting for them. My positivity is going to remain 10 out of 10, and I'm going to be rooting for those guys' success and the team and the rest of the fan base as well. I will judge Stan Bowman's inability to get a goalie after the Stanley Cup playoffs, especially if goaltending is what ends up sinking the team if they don't win a championship. Because at the end of June, we could all be laughing. We could all be laughing, popping champagne at the parade, and, getting worked up today, I don't think is worth it. We will judge after the postseason. But I do think that it was a failure not getting a top 6 scoring forward. In saying that, let's take a look at the projected lineups, or at least the projected depth chart. So when Evander Kane is healthy, I would project him to be on the top line with McDavid and Hyman. Why would Evander Kane suddenly get to play top line minutes? He has historically produced with McDavid in the past, and you need to shelter him. You need to shelter Evander Kane, because if you put him immediately into a bruising bottom 6 role, going up against big defenders, if Edmonton plays LA, that's going to be a physical series. Evander Kane is someone that he can keep up with McDavid, and he's good at working the cycle, and he creates space. And they've been a fit in the past. We don't know if they're going to be a fit now. We won't be able to judge until we see what goes on. But that's what I would project, is Evander Kane stepping in and being with McDavid and Hyman. Line number 2, you have Frederic, Draisaitl, and Arvidsson. This is a combination of grit, speed, and offense. Frederic can put the puck in the net. 17 goals last year, 18 goals the year before. Victor Arvidsson has 20-goal seasons. He has a 30-goal season under his belt. You like to hope that he's able to find his game sooner rather than later. Third line, I like the idea of Jeff Skinner with Nugent Hopkins and Podkolzin. Nugent Hopkins centering that third line. Notice all the centermen, McDavid, Draisaitl, Nuge, Henrique, all centering their own line. That's the dream to me. Frederic can play center if you need him to, but I like him on the wing a little bit more than center. He's not much of a face-off guy, but you could even have Frederic with Jones on a line too. Fourth line, Maximus Jones with Adam Henrique and Connor Brown. And then extra forwards, Janmark, Kapanen, Perry. Corey Perry, of course, he's going to be in the lineup regularly. I just put him down there just for foot speed reasons. Corey Perry has 14 goals on the year. He's the most productive winger that Edmonton has right now. And that's not good. That's kind of why I really wanted a top 6 winger to, be able to push other guys down, because Corey Perry's not someone that I want playing in the top 6 regularly at this stage. But we'll have to see. On defense, Ekholm, Bouchard, of course, that is the Oilers' usual top pair. Nurse with Kulak, I do project Kulak to play on his right side. Him and Nurse have played left-right throughout the season already, so they have some familiarity there. Brett Kulak has been very effective in that role, too, when he's been asked to do it. And then Jake Walman with Ty Emberson, reuniting the San Jose Sharks D-man there. Thank you, Mike Greer, for giving us Emberson and Walman for a first. Cody Ceci and Carl Berglund. Tidy piece of work here from the Oilers getting Walman. I like Walman a lot. He's going to be great. And Oilers fans, I promise you, you're going to love him. Walman is terrific, and it's not just because he does the gritty when he scores big goals. So, Stetcher, Klingberg, of course, I would have my extra D-men. Klingberg, likely, I just don't want in the lineup anymore at all. And then, of course, Skinner and Pickard in net. Looking at this forward group, that's a good forward group when you think about how they've produced historically. Obviously, things have not gone the way that the team has thought they would. Jeff Skinner's a regular healthy scratch. Victor Arvidsson has not found his offense. Vasily Podkolzin, he's effective on the forecheck, but he's not a shooter. He's not a finisher. Evander Kane, we have no idea what Evander Kane's status is going to be like when the playoffs start. For Evander Kane, we don't even know if he'll be ready for game 1. I'd like to imagine that he will be, but how effective will he be coming off of the surgery, the injuries, the rehab, being thrust immediately into the playoffs? That's a big question mark right there. If Evander Kane is even remotely effective, the Oilers are a better team. Doesn't count as a trade deadline acquisition. You can't look at this and be like, oh, Evander Kane is essentially our top 6 ad. No, it's not, because he was already on the team. Not technically a trade deadline acquisition. I hate when people do that. It's usually media people that does it, but that's just my opinion. Of course, I'm hoping for the best here. And for what the Oilers gave up, good value. I think the Walman trade is one of the best trades that the Oilers have made in the McDavid era in terms of a value standpoint. Walman still has a year left on his contract as well. So, I think that's great. I think overall the team, they are better. This defensive group is better. The forwards are better. Trent Frederic adds an element that the team doesn't have right now in terms of just that grit, that mean, that mean, really mean, psycho mean. Trent Frederic is basically the Joker on ice is what I call him, because he will laugh when he's getting punched in the face, and that's scary. That's a type of mean and psycho that this team needs in that bottom 6 that other teams look at and go, oh, I don't want to go out on the ice against Trent Frederic. Now, what are my thoughts on the other trade deadline acquisitions from other teams? I will save that for a different video, maybe a different live stream. There's too much to talk about with how much went down today. As a Bruins fan, though, I need to address Brad Marchand being traded to the Florida Panthers. As an also Bruins fan, I'm very upset about it. Very upset about it. Love Brad Marchand. I was really hoping that the Edmonton Oilers could have been in on him. I was really hoping that they were one of the teams that were in on him and were trying to get him. I really hope Bowman did the best that he could to acquire Brad Marchand. He will obviously be greatly missed in Bruin land. So those are my thoughts on that. And overall, I think the team right now, they are better. Am I disappointed? In some aspects. Am I excited for just getting the rest of the season out of the way and pushing towards the playoffs? Absolutely. We will discuss this team further. We'll discuss their chances against other Western Conference opponents, their projections against a team like LA. Do they have what it takes to go up against a team like Colorado or Dallas or Winnipeg? I mean, there are a lot of question marks. But we're going to have to wait until April to kind of determine where this team is, where they're projecting, and if they are considered a top dog in the NHL. Because there are some other teams that did so well and have really loaded up that, you know, I hope the Oilers can go on a run here. That's what we're hoping, at least. Year 10 of McDavid, and we are hoping. So hopefully it all works out. Positivity up to a 10. We're going to stay positive on the channel here moving forward because this is our team. This is what we got. This is what Bowman has given us, and Jackson to an extent. Although Jeff Jackson actually handcuffed Bowman a ton with all the no movement clauses, but I digress. We'll see what the team can do. We'll see if they can pull themselves out of this recent little rut. We'll see if they have a lot of energy against the Stars tomorrow. So keep an eye out on the channel. I will have a pregame report for the Oilers and Dallas Stars tomorrow morning. And I will be doing a live stream tomorrow night as well. Hockey Night in Canada. I'm excited to do a live stream for that. So keep an eye out for the live stream tomorrow night against the Dallas Stars. We'll see if Mikko Rantanen is in the lineup against the Oilers. So we'll see you soon, Oil Country. And as always, let me know your thoughts, right? Did the Oilers do enough? Did they not do enough? Please let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section below. I want to hear from everyone. Whatever your opinion is, I want to hear it. I want to know your thoughts because I know there's going to be a lot of discussion in Oil Country. So we'll see you soon. Tell someone that you love them. And as always, fight like a kid, fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers.